Guilty verdicts have been returned against two members of a Mexican street gang in one of the longest criminal trials in county history. 10
News reporter Steve Fiorina is live at the Hall of Justice with why even those verdicts don't mark the end of the trial. Steve.
Kim, the jury's still deadlocked on several of the counts here, and even when that's resolved, they've still got the penalty phase to deal with. Life or death, and that could take weeks. 10 times, Judge David Rubin read verdicts of guilty of first-degree murder.
Guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187.
Jorge Rojas Lopez in front and Juan Estrada Gonzalez behind him. They showed little emotion as they were also convicted of torture, kidnapping, special circumstances that make them eligible for the death penalty. Not every murder count was resolved. The jury is still deliberating on several, plus lesser charges. Rojas was convicted of 4 of 9 murders charged. Estrada was 6 for 6. Both found not guilty of 1 count of robbery. But it was a huge victory for prosecution after nearly a year in the courtroom, making it one of the longest criminal trials in San Diego County history.
The district attorney got what they wanted. Each defendant was convicted of multiple murders, and that's significant. They'll spend the rest of their life in prison. They'll never be released.
They are members of a notorious criminal street gang, Los Palillos, the Toothpicks. Heavily armed and vicious drug traffickers who killed and disposed of victims' bodies by dousing them with acid. 2 were buried on a ranch in San Isidro. Kidnapping was high on the agenda. These photos from 2007 show a hostage being rescued after his family paid $200,000 for his release. The reign of terror began in Mexico and moved into this country about 5 years before that. Rojas and Estrada were the leaders, labeled by the DA as cold, calculated, hard men. There were 2 moments to note as Judge Rubin read the verdicts. Rojas looked at his attorney and seemed to smirk and raise an eyebrow during one of those. And Estrada, he simply shook his head slowly as the not guilty, the single not guilty verdict was read. Back again on Tuesday. Live downtown, Steve Fiorina, 10 News.